the answer really with responsibility lies with everybody. In the world of sustainability and protecting the planet, certainly for the future of humanity, who are at a risk from the rising climate, amongst other things, it's the responsibility of everybody along that chain. And I think you could say that's the same with pretty much any similar topic. We all need to be doing that right thing towards the environment right now. Obviously, with the proviso that we have to do it within a sustainable way that allows us to continue sustaining people in their livelihoods at the same time. So we can't put businesses at risk, particularly just to do the right thing around the environment there as well. But it needs more than just everyone on the ground, the engineers and the supply chain and the OEMs. We're all doing our bit. You've got JCB with us today as well. They're clearly making big inroads into providing that option for end users to transition over to that. We're doing the same thing at Hypermotive here. But whilst we're all doing our part to reduce the costs of getting those to market and operating those to market, the reality is that today, to create and produce a hydrogen-powered vehicle will cost more than an existing fossil fuel-based counterpart, because the materials that we require to use to put hydrogen in place are more expensive. They're higher quality materials. The volumes that we're making them in are far lower at the moment, and we don't have that vast backing of a high volume, highly cost competitive automotive manufacturing industry behind us at this time, which is where the incumbent sector is. So whilst we are all doing what we can on the ground, we do need the backing of those with the deep pockets to really support this move forwards. And you mentioned the oil and gas majors, and they absolutely have a key part to play in providing this. The challenge there is that we're seeing in the current geopolitical climate, they're moving back away from this and focusing back on their immediate day-to-day profits. On an almost daily basis, you hear of the oil companies pulling out of green hydrogen projects or downscaling green hydrogen projects. The large BP project in Spain has been scaled down from 250 megawatts to 25 megawatts on the most recent electrolyzer project. These guys have the deep pockets and they can support that, but they are bowing to shareholder pressure to reap the revenues of today without putting the R&D in. Now, it's easy for me to stand here and point the finger, but actually that also requires the governments to be strong and the governments to stand up and put strong policy in place and drive this forward, rather than perhaps listening too closely to those who have the incumbent positions and the vested interests as to saying what is possible and what's not. So where we are today on a very individual basis, sort of taking a step back from that, is at Hypermotive we are developing and producing products now which are looking at reducing both the capex and the opex of getting applications to market. So we're supporting the OEMs with reducing the cost of developing by reducing the time and the cost and the expertise required to get hydrogen powered vehicles to market. And at the same time, we're supporting the customer at the end point, reduce the OPEX of operation by ensuring that the hydrogen propulsion systems are as optimized and efficient as possible and can be monitored and optimized using the latest in machine learning, data analytics and over-the-air updates on an ongoing basis to the fleet, so that we're doing everything we can as innovators to reduce those costs and make it as competitive as possible. But it does really require strong governance to take the big step forward.